Oh, go on in there. I ain't just no random dude, this is my place.
At Lee and Louise, a modern juke joint, something's always cooking.
In the South, during segregation times, black people would want to go to have fun and let loose after, you know, to get off work and go have some drinks and listen to some good music. Usually it's not food-based, so it's modern day because it's a restaurant here.
Chef Greg Collier and his business partner and wife Sabrina opened Lee and Louise to bring people together. They named the restaurant after Greg's late sister and grandmother.
I felt like it'd be a perfect time to pay homage to someone who, and my sister, I was gonna try to open a restaurant with her at some point. And my granny, she never really got to teach me all the things that she knew about food, and so I felt like this would be a great place to kind of honor them.
Originally from Memphis, Tennessee, the Colliers moved to Charlotte in 2012. They opened the Yoke Cafe in Rock Hill and later moved the breakfast and lunch spot to the 7th Street Public Market. Then they created a second concept, a Southern-inspired restaurant in Charlotte's Camp North End.
It became an obvious choice for us after a while because we would come over here, do some pop-ups, and we saw they were doing these cool things. They fostered the arts heavy. I liked that Camp North End purposely wanted to make sure, hey, we're coming into a historically black community. So we're not trying to come in and gentrify it. We want to improve it, employ people that are in the neighborhood.
It's like one of those things, like, if you can't cook it in Memphis, you're the one who can't cook it.
Greg Collier is a twice James Beard nominated chef. He cooks modern versions of Southern classics that honor the Mississippi River Valley, like a smoked catfish stew.
When I just think about food, almost everything that I grew up with comes from New Orleans, North Louisiana, Mississippi, Memphis, a little bit of St. Louis, a little bit of Nashville. So I want to kind of just look at those foodways and center our food there.
The Colliers have been married 10 years. The restaurant is a union of their cooking and design skills. Tell me about the wall behind us.
So behind us we have our pallet wall. So Camp North End, where we are, is an industrial warehouse type of project, and they had pallets everywhere, pallets. And I was like, we gotta do something with it. We call that a community table. People that normally wouldn't sit at a table together, you're almost forced, you know, to sit and say, hey, you want a community table? It's open now. The couches are definitely replicas of our grandparents' house. For the bar, like we have the railroad ties as the footstool. Railroad ties because a lot of the black workers back in like the 30s and 40s used to work on the railroad. So they would come get off work and then come to the juke joint. If you've ever been to Memphis, ever been to Beale Street, there are neon signs down the whole street for several blocks. And so I wanted to bring that aspect here.
The Colliers spent months getting the restaurant ready to open in mid-March. When the very next day the shelter-in-place restrictions went into effect, they had to come up with a new game plan.
I think the first thought was like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? And the next thought was like, we're gonna do what we need to do.
They chose a soft launch with takeout only.
We always have to pivot. That should be our middle name. Like, it should really come before our middle names, Sabrina Pivot Collier, Greg Pivot Collier Jr. And so I feel like this was just another pivot. It was a lot bigger, but it was a pivot.
So struggle's really not new to us. Trying to figure out how to make things work is really not new to us.
The struggle led to success. People have supported the restaurant from day one. This couple drove an hour from Winston-Salem.
But we're always pretty adventurous in choosing where we like to eat, and we figured it was a special occasion, and we thought we'd come down here because everything looks so great.
All their social media posts are great. I think it makes you definitely want to come eat here.
The Colliers also founded the nonprofit Soul Food Sessions, a series of dining events supporting people of color in the culinary arts. Whether it's food or fellowship, Lee and Louise reflects a labor of love. For Carolina Impact, I'm Sheila Saints reporting.
We hope you enjoyed the story. If you don't want to miss any more great stories about the Charlotte region, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.